mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. ULTI.TV. ULTI.net.
Welcome back, everybody. ULTI.TV here and ready to bring you the action as per always. This time, we're into the bracket rounds. And that starts in the Open Division as this tournament kicked off in the Open Division. We have a repeat of the EUCF bronze medal match from last year. And to tell you more about that is my co-commentator. I'm Steph Rapazzo, and I'm here with Benji Rees. Benji, tell us about this quarterfinal match.
I think probably the favorite in this game, as they were in the bronze medal match, Fotta, as they were then, BFD as they are now, taking on Heidees Open from Germany, maybe a surprise semi-finalist at Euros last year after they upset compatriots Wall City in the quarterfinals. A young, hungry team, Heidees Open, and I think they're treating this game as a little bit of a free hit because I think they know that they're not expected to win out here and they can play without pressure here and just go at it full throttle. And believe me, I'm sure this is going to be a game that is full throttle.
You better believe it. All the pressure off of Heidees, all the pressure on Fotta. This is a game they did not like not being picked in the preview. They did not. They want more respect. They deserve to get the respect of the panel nowadays is the way they feel. They've been winning long enough that people should be assuming their victory. Well, we all know they're great, but now is the time for them to prove it. The knockout rounds, they lost their opening round yesterday and got a couple wins thereafter. Is that right, Benji?
Let me have a little look. They did lose their first game. They're coming out of Pool A and Fotta were in Pool B. So Heidees finished bottom of the pool on a three-way tie. They opened up with a 15-10 loss to 3SB. They beat Ranelagh 15-14 and then went down to Chevron Action Flash 14-12 to see some come at bottom of the pool. For Fotta, they began with a 15-12 win over Wall City, went down on Universe to Clapham 12-11, and then beat Mooncatchers 15-13 to take their place at the top of Pool B and set up this quarterfinal.
There's a messy three-way tie situation pool over there, the pool of death, doom, whatever you want to call it. As we assumed, it was going to be a cracker, and it was. But now, quarterfinals, we'll tell you bits about the other quarterfinals as we go there, all on at the same time. But this one in front of us, Arturo Laffy walks up to the mark and jacks it straight off the bat. It's Barzazzi on the chase, bids, flips into a somersault, and kicks this one off in fine form as the Italians notch one up with one throw, one layout, and one somersault, combining for the score.
This David Barzazzi guy might be any good. Like, are you familiar with him?
I am well on board the David Barzazzi train. That guy just keeps doing it. And, you know, they talked quite a little bit about not being picked to win this game. Well, we didn't have Barzazzi on the roster. We didn't have Pavan on the roster. And as good as they are top to bottom, you miss a couple shining superstars like that. And sure, it makes you guess a little bit, doesn't it, Benji?
Yeah, it does. And look at this. With the trailing edge, always makes me nervous. But the roll didn't quite stick the landing, I'm afraid. But pretty good. And look, it's one of the things that Bologna's done really well is they bring players up through the youth programs, through the national teams, so they get experience of playing at the top stage. But Zazzi's no exception there. Remember back at the EYUC in 2019, he caught the winning goal for the Italian under-20 side, I think, at the end of that tournament. So he's got experience of playing on the big stage, and he's not just comfortable with it, he relishes it. There's a couple of players who come through those youth system who fit that mold. Players like Rossi and players like Pavan, they're built for the big stage.
They rise to the occasion, and they keep getting occasions playing on a team like this. Heidees now with their first look. Lux gets a forwarding throw in. Linde. That one shot for goal, wide open. Roger tries to catch up, but it's dropped into the lap of the receiver and counts for a goal. Heidees strike back, Benji.
Beautiful throw with a lovely little bit of voluptuous inside-out shape on it. They just opened up that area of the field really well. They got the one in the end zone, and look, Roger is no slouch, right? He's a World Games player. He's not going to be, but even he could do nothing here. It's kind of like how you draw it up. You have a plan in mind, and they executed on the plan ruthlessly.
As much as Roger, a top player, probably not known for his defensive aerial.
You think about him more as an ambidextrous wizard, I guess.
Exactly, an offensive distributor, able to throw any throw in the books. Still gets the job done playing defense with his speed more than anything. But that time was a bit behind and didn't have the height to catch up and take that one away in the air. So, one apiece. This one is kicking off at a cracking pace. A couple hucks for goals to open up the scoring on both sides. Heidees send the pull the other way, and Laffy settles under before distributing to Votsi. Votsi goes upfield to Pavan. Pavan jacks it. It's Gasparini on the chase, but he's a step away from even the layout attempt.
I thought when he was slowing down, maybe he was setting himself for the layout, but in the end he just decided, you know what? Discretion is the better part of valor. I'll save myself for another battle.
Heidees with the first break chance of the game. Hook, and he hucks it. That one's on the chase. This could well count. There's a contest there, but it's the intended receiver that comes down with it. And Heidees are hyped to start this game with an early break.
Heidees, they said it's a free hit. We're playing with house money, essentially, because no one on the form book is backing us to win this game. Well, no one except us, of course. We fully trust in our abilities, and hey, looks like they're right to.
They are off to a flying start. This game off to a flying start. Discs going from one end to the other non-stop here.
Just looking, it's a little bit hard to see because some of the players have the black numbers on the maroon shirts for Heidees, which not a great look. It's Stuart on the reception. Didn't quite get a glimpse of the thrower.
I'm pretty sure that came out of the hands of number 9, Silas Hook.
Look, I mean, this is not the important thing in this game, but please make sure we get legible numbers on shirts.
Yes.
It makes everyone's life so much easier.
You better believe it. That's why players are assigned numbers, so that they can have commentary, statistics, and the likes assigned to them. Even the opposition being able to mark up on one another.
And hey, it makes it easier for the fans at home as well.
Yeah, like, I love number so-and-so.
Like, you can just look at it and say, I know exactly who this player is.
So that pull out of bounds, and Votsi will bring it in at the brick mark. Defense engaged. Gasparini comes under. Zani was open, but a nice little poach in the lane by the Heidees defense. But Zani does eventually get. He squeaks one through to the 38 shirt. That's Casanelli, and eventually moved far sideline to Copi. Copi finds Rossi in goal in the corner there, and it's our first score that's not off a huck.
I mean, the long ball is fun, there's no doubt about it, but when you can just get it in flow, in stride, I think it's equally as put my teeth back in, equally as aesthetically pleasing.
Benji. So, even score, Heidees up a break. And what are the other matchups in these quarterfinals today, Benji? I know we've got some exciting games. It's very difficult to choose the right one.
What a shock that at the Elite Invite, all the quarterfinals are stone cold bangers.
I know.
Who knew? We're in the bottom half of the bracket. The other quarterfinal is an all English affair. Chevron Action Flash up against Clapham.
They've played before?
They may have played a few times, of course.
Okay.
Chevy finally trying to get one over on the old enemy. And the other half of the bracket, 3SB up against Wool City and Ranelagh versus Mooncatchers. So the winner of this game plays Chevy or Clapham, and then the winner of 3SB Wool plays the winner of Ranelagh versus Moon.
Concise info as always, Benjamin.
Which four are going to progress to the semi-finals? Heck knows.
There's the poll. Heidees set sail on offense here. The 55 shirt comes under. That's Meyer Bothling. And now the big gainer. It's Meyer Bothling again. He's a difficult man to mark. Big unit, all sorts of speed, all sorts of throws. Nice throw. Keeps the disc moving. High, there's a bit in front, but the completion counts. Nice throw. Oh, there's the bid by Tognetti, and the first break chance for Bologna exists now.
Time to bring the game back on serve if you're an Italian. Tognetti showing why he's the defensive stalwart and captain of this side. Just gets enough of a fingertip on it.
Crisafulli and Gatti, the two staunch defensive handlers. Crisafulli goes down and straight back to the cat Gatti. Maybe a disc tacoing.
I assume they call him the cat because that's the translation of Gatti, not because he likes taking long leisurely naps in the sun.
You better believe it. It is because of the translation, Benji, but we could end up putting him on your lap anyways for a little petting at some stage throughout this game.
I think I might have enough cats already, unless my partner is listening to this, in which case we can always get more cats.
Crisafulli goes around, and that one taken high by Rossi. A good strong hand on the awkward takedown and shot in for goal right thereafter. It's Crisafulli on the goal reception.
I was looking at Crisafulli earlier on the sidelines and thinking, he's grown up. Like, this is the thing. Like, actually with Heidees as well, through the German programs and with Bologna through the Italian programs, is you really do see these players' age progress through the ranks. And that one just redirecting the flow of traffic. Crisafulli front and center for the score. Novak, the Austrian import, on the assist there.
So, breaks for Heide to open the game. Bologna followed suit, held and broke on their own accord.
So we are now back on serve.
And score check makes on serve as we see the RC cars ripping around in the dirt behind.
Can we get one of those to like deliver like food and snacks to the commentary booth?
Oh boy, would I be approving of that.
Or it's like, have you seen this at the World Cup where they like deliver the ball onto the pitch with like a remote? Can we do that with a disc as well?
It's coming soon. We need more patrons, that's for sure. We'll talk about that after the possession. Heidees. Get the up line there, it's Linde. Into the dump space, Sontag. Meyer Bothling. Good defensive pressure by Bologna now. Not many available options, and as we say it, the option gets away. Comirato gets it to Roger. back into the hands of Roger, and he zips one into the middle. It's Tal Ostri with the goal, and that's another break for Bologna. A hot start for Heidees, but Bologna has taken the fire since then.
A little bit of air bounce on that flick just to sneak it under the mark of Linda there from Crash Quentin Roger, and you see it here. Bit of international flavour about this. I'm not sure what French Israeli cuisine would taste like, but two of them seem to be kind of cooking from the same recipe book, I guess, if we use the metaphor there. Also, something I want to point out on the turnover, yes, it was an overthrow. Comirato could easily have just left that go out the sideline. We'll take a slow pickup. No, I'm going to catch this. Let's get going quickly. We're going to keep it moving. Make sure that the defense doesn't get a chance to get set, get into position. We're just going to keep the disc moving, bouncing it about quickly. It's such... The Italian imprints are all over this side, as you would expect.
So the Italians have a fresh D-line out. Heidees need to hold here if they're going to make things interesting in the late game. It may well start here. That pull way out of bounds.
Going to get the chance to start this possession from the brick mark. They were 2-1 up in this game. They're now 4-2 down. Heidees can scarcely afford to let Fotta disappear further into the distance here.
And that is Jasper Linde walking the disc to the brick mark. He's dumped back. Luke. A high stall count there in their own end, and it's Linde. '89 shirt now, Stulert. There comes the shot. Myers-Bothling settling underneath it, just outruns the opponent Mafioli and makes a heck of a play to haul in the hold after not much available in their own end.
Yeah, the two 55s going up against each other, and Myers-Bothling gets the edge there on Mafioli. It was a scorcher of a put as well that came out of the arm of Luch. Bella Luch, that is, because again, as you often see quite a lot, there's a fair few ultimate families on display. And actually, I might be misinformed about the throw. I'm just going to have another look around because, again, as we say, it's difficult to spot with the black numbers on the dark maroon jerseys. Again, who thought that was a good design choice? I'll let it go for now. Jasper Linde, I think it was in the end.
There we see Mr. Mori consulting with his French import, Roger.
Obviously, when you bring in international talent, sometimes there are those chemistry issues if you can't make training every week. But also, you bring in different ideas, different styles that you can maybe integrate, work out how to adapt against a different culture of ultimate. Really benefits the brain's trust of the program.
No two ways about that. Roger bringing a wealth of knowledge alongside his very deep bag of tools. Vozzi with the disc. He's gone right up line. He's found Zanni. Tried to isolate Pavan, instead went to Casanelli. Casanelli thought Trombetti and put it away. Now Casanelli dumps back, he's got Vozzi. Vozzi goes center. He's got Laffy. And into Vozzi for the score. A little bit of tiki-taki for the goal there out of Bologna.
Vozzi's got such a quick release on those throws, doesn't he? He gets it out of the hands quick, and with that throw and go movement, he's just constantly trying to keep Heidees on their heels, really. You see it here, gets it out, throws that gap, and then bang, he's off. There's no waiting around, is there? (5-3) La Fotta lead. After that early break for Heidees, the offense for La Fotta has been relatively untroubled. Actually, generally a very clean game so far, to be fair. Only the 3 turnovers.
There's the pull out of the arm of Tognetti and another one out of bounds. Another brick coming up. Disc is in and brought into play by Nystro. Then to Linde. Back far sideline. In and out of the hands of Hauk. Then a bit of a gainer there. Klein, he goes deep. Has a receiver. Defense has come, but not quick enough. Jan Novak couldn't do anything about that one. And Heidees puts another one on the board because of the goal-scoring efforts of Stulert.
Yeah, usually we see I think it's Sontag, actually, who usually we see in that handler spot, but this time going deep, and it feels like a huge portion of Heidees' offense at the moment is that deep game. And I think La Fotta can just really sit on that and say, look, we're going to try and make you just grind this out underneath, like make you work for every single pass and see if you can beat us by, you know, by slicing and dicing us, death by 1,000 cuts. That's fine, because at the moment, the deep game is thriving for the Germans. (5-4) the scoreline. Bologna up a break. There goes the pull. Heidees trying to make themselves loud on the sideline. See, they've traveled in good numbers by the sounds of it. Laffy gets Rossi on the under. There's a disc on the field from the other field, but they play on. Barzazzi goes under to Pavan. Bologna getting it done early in this possession as Casanelli gets a touch and distributes to Barzazzi. Immediate backhand, and that one went in and out of the next two hands so fast I didn't even see it. I mean, I think that disc caught Laffy rather than Laffy catching that disc, because he bulleted it in there. It was some speed, and I think Casanelli in the end caught the score. But I'm with you. I mean, Barzazzi, he absolutely rips this. I mean, I am watching again with great attentiveness. Did this come out harder than he wanted, or did he just think, look, I see Laffy there, and the only way Laffy's getting it is if I really spear it right, not into, but almost through his gut. Luckily, Laffy was more than up to the challenge of handling the spice, and then continues to Casanelli for the score. So the hockey assist is essentially what Barzazzi got for that zipper before it went Laffy to Casanelli.
Yeah, we have not seen too much of the man they called Chopo in this game. He's on the line now, looking forward to see what he does. Of course, sporting his ski goggles with the nose bent into the frame there. Interesting style choices, as always, by Giovanni Santucci.
By the way, in the game that's going on the field directly beyond this one, 3-3 between Mooncatchers and Ranelagh.
That was a heck of a game at EUCF last time as well. Heidees now moving the disc up, trying to hold their way into a tight one, maintain some sort of potential to take this. 55, that's Meyer bottling, and right out of the hands of Sontag. Now Roger, timeout after a little fake. This game heating up. We're going to take a break with them, and we'll be back after these messages.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Back in action here, quarterfinals, elite invite, EUF event brought to you by ULTI.TV as always. I'm Steph Rapazzo, as always, here with Benji Reese, and we're having a wonderful time. We know you are too, and as such, why not like and subscribe? And of course, what we appreciate most is your ability to dig just a little bit deeper if you've got it in you, and click those buttons to become a patron, help out this great cause, help bring more Ultimate to your screens and to the screens around the world. Hit the patron button on ULTI.TV and help out where you can.
A little goes a long way, because if everyone just chips in, what, a pint of beer a month, then we can keep doing. I mean, it's great to have one field here at the Elite Invite, but there's so many good games that are going unstreamed because we don't have two pitches, for example, and
exactly.
we can't do multiple pitches,
Maybe
we can't do multiple events without your support.
Maybe more VOs coming, but it all goes towards more for you, the viewers and the spectators. Roger with the disc after the timeout. Goes wide and around. Venturoli is there and handles it in his 50 shirt. Then to Santucci, back and forth. Venturoli's on every other touch as though it's his job. Now Osri, back to Venturoli again, and finally in to Osri, but no, it's bobbled the pace just a bit too fast.
I mean, it was so quick before that. You did wonder if maybe they were just getting a little bit ahead of themselves sometimes.
Sontag puts it in. The fake flick and then the bomb. Myers bottling there. Chopo on the chase. What a take. He went up early and got it on the way down. Heidees staying alive right now.
It's not so much that Bottling got up for that, it's that he got out for that. He's got a really long wingspan does the big man, the 55 Meyer bottling, and he used it to his full advantage. Oh, you see there, Osri just slips, and he puts out a despairing hand. Comerato gets a slap on the back because not a bad look if the receiver doesn't fall over. And look, I think Jasper Linder only had one thing in mind, and again, it's that deep bomb. Chopo's no slouch, so that is a real, I mean, befitting of the event. An elite grab there from Meyer Bottling. He is a nightmare downfield.
Nightmare, forced to be reckoned with, and just getting it done. Getting up, as you said, I think getting up early helped that, but the extension, like his range there, his reception box is massive. And just using those long arms to take it away. And Heidees hanging around here. Double breaks after double breaks to start the game, and now bit of trading. We're going back and forth.
In the other half of the bracket, by the way, Mooncatchers Ranelagh, 5 apiece. Wool City 3SB, also 5 apiece.
So strange that at the Elite Invite, all these games are so tight.
Curious.
Vozzi with the disc for the Bolognese. He gets the under to Gasperini. Pavan comes and gives an optional body check on the reception. He gets under to Rossi. Now Vozzi working this near sideline for the possession thus far. Vozzi goes internal to Laffy, who goes around quickly. Rossi looks at end zone, fires to Vozzi, that for goal, and they are in. Casanelli cashes the check.
Classic La Fotta there. It was a little bit slow at the start. It took a while for that cut from Gasperini to develop, but as soon as they got that pass off, bang, they put the foot on the gas, and they just go, don't they? They move so quickly, they know exactly what the plan is. Just sits on that inside flick a bit, and classic. You get a bit of movement to the break side. We'll make that flow there. Again, the cut from Casanelli is late enough that it doesn't close off that space, and he's in there to catch his second goal of the game.
You talked about Vozzi earlier having those quick releases and that quick first step. He did it again there. He was he's a player who's really coming on. He had an error early in the quarterfinal in the Tom's tournament that seemed to take him out of the game a little bit. Maybe young player didn't have the full mental strength to overcome a big error in that game. Actually, that was in the final. But here, now, we see why he's on these top lines. We see why he's on Bologna O-line. He has got the pace, he's got the throws, and he is a perfect fit to those stalwarts around him of Laffy and Gasperini and Zani. 22 shirt, nice throw. Heidees need to respond now. Linde. Under, and Chopo with the huge in front loses every accessory he owns, but got the D. Roger now with the disc. And I think there's a stoppage on the play. I'm not sure why. Chopo does pick up his lost accessories. Did it have something to do with that? Roger taps it in. Simonazzi in the dump space. Doesn't provide. He goes very high to Tognetti. Does maintain possession. But Tognetti puts it right to the grass, and Coach Mori not happy one bit. Now that's gone deep. That looks like it's gonna connect. The 6 shirt has to work, and Hauk hauls it in. A huge play for Heidees to hold after giving it away once.
It's just the turf from Tognetti, so uncharacteristic for him. But Heidees respond in a way that maybe only Heidees can, in that they're just going to bang their way out of it again, and it's just going to work. They thrive on that deep game, and it comes up trumps again to reduce the deficit back to 1 at 7-6. By the way, that third quarter final, by the way, any guesses at a score?
That's the Chevron Clapham?
Yep.
I'm going to guess it's 5-5.
It was 5-5. Chevy took the lead to go 6-5 up, but all of these quarterfinals are so so tight. You see there Frederick Linder just accelerating behind the defense for the score.
Chevy up on Clapham. UK crowd's wondrous about that one, I'd imagine.
Well, if you want to watch that, that's actually on the EUF VO.
Surely everybody watching here has got 2 screens up by now.
I mean, I'll be honest, I would be tempted to do it if I didn't want to put more stuff on the Wi-Fi.
Coach Marty giving a smile to the fans at home, showing his game plan. What's going on here? What has he got? What are those scribbles all about?
I think it's score goals. I actually think it's the game script of how the points have been scored.
I thought I was reading hieroglyph there, but...
If only he had some handy app to track things like Commentary Source. By the way, thanks Hannah for doing a bang-up job on the stats.
Loving the work we get done here. This time Hannah's on the stats job, and it really helps again with our ability to provide for you back at home and give you just a little bit more in-depth analysis. Barzazzi comes under. Tries to engage and well defended, but Trombetti comes under. He's got a hand on it. Foul called. A hand chop on the arm of Trombetti. Couple well-defended initiations there thus far by Heidees in the initial parts of this attack. Zani now dumps back to Trombetti. Trombo goes to Pavan, nice catch away from the body. Pavan to Zani.
Dipple, by the way, very nearly came in to get the poach block there.
Zani around, and a man on the back for Casanelli.
Bad bid. It looked like he was going to come through cleanly enough, but just rolled up on the back of the legs afterwards. You see it again here on the replay. Just again, it's the lack of control, and as he lands, he just skids through and takes him out.
And those are the ones lucky. Casanelli's in good shape after it, but those are those little things just as you ease off, just as the play seemingly finishes, where problems can arise. So avoid that as Zani continues the attack, shoots for goal. It's low, and Casanelli can do nothing but watch it hit the turf.
Chance for Heidees to break to take us to Galaxy Point.
Oh goodness, would that get the mouth watering. Hauk goes to Meyer-Bothling. That's a great matchup to watch, him and Barzazzi. Shear goes up and gets a touch and continues to Hauk. Wide and around. It's Hess to Meyer-Bothling.
I'm pretty sure that if Meyer-Bottling's just staying in the handler space, given what he's done downfield, Cusp will be, I say Cusp, force of habit, Fotta will be more than happy with that.
You bet. Keep him away, and you know, with Barzazzi on him, that's probably the best matchup they can put on him to try and negate. And after the stoppage comes the timeout. What a cracker we've got on our hands. We're going to take a little break here and be back with the action after the timeout.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. ULTI.TV. ULTI.net.
My mom and I made a cookbook. Traditional recipes passed down through the generations.
They cater very well to modern kitchens.
Our recipes come from all over Italy, primarily from Le Marche in Sicily, where my parents come from. Two of the best culinary regions.
All the regions of Italy have their own signature food.
Buying this book will make you smarter and better looking.
Mannaggia Stefano, just promote the book.
Just search Mama's Italian Classics anywhere you can buy books online and get your hands on a copy. Back from the break, 7-6, and a chance to go 7-7. That would be an exciting affair because that would mean Galaxy Point. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but the potential exists. It's right in front of us, in fact. But for now, Heidees will return from the timeout, and it will be Stulart who picks up the disc after the chat. Bologna still with 30-odd players on the fields. They approach the sideline.
I don't know what they've put in the water in Bologna, but it seems to be growing good Ultimate players.
Oh, most certainly. And the disc is in. Stulart engages the dump alone. Gets him with eventuality. It's Kitchen. He zips one upfield to Myert Bothling. Someone's poached. The shot goes deep to Shear. Max it! And the pickup from Tykett for the goal. 7-7, Benji. We're going to the Galaxy.
Bang, back on serve. Galaxy Point. Quarterfinals of Elite Invite. What more do you want? Where else would you rather be than here on ULTI.TV, right? Like, this, it was never going to be a boring game. Yes, I know that you look at it and think, oh, you know, Fotta topped their pool, Heidees were bottom of the other pool, and that was considered the weaker pool, so is this going to be a close game? You betcha it is. That one just maybe the slightest of fingertips to it, but the Mac line practice comes in handy, and good backup there by Tykett to take us to 7-7 and Galaxy Point.
Wow.
You love to see it, Steph.
What a match. Where else would we rather be? I mean, we get to pick these games when it comes to quarterfinals. The only other place I would think about is one of these other quarterfinals, but we're going to take a quick break and catch our breath. We'll let you do the same. We'll be back in no time.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
July from Nottingham, England, the World Flying Disc Federation's World Under-24 Ultimate Championships. Live all-access coverage, including semis and finals, exclusively at ultiworld.com.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Back in action before the pull, and Benji's got a little update from around the quarterfinals.
How much do you like Galaxy Point, Steph?
It's one of my favorite things in the world, just after Universe Point.
Would you like 2 more Galaxy Points? Because Moon Ranelagh is 7-7 and 3SB Wall City is also 7-7.
Holy dooly, what a set of quarterfinals we've got in front of us. From one side of the pitch to the other. Quarterfinal tight matches all over the place.
You'll never guess what the score is in the other game.
Did we just get another score from Chevron Clapham?
Guess what?
It can't be 4 Galaxy Points. It cannot be.
You betcha it can.
Holy jumping Jawillikers. Votsi with the disc. This is unprecedented coming from Bern, this action.
Settle down there,
Do
Flanders.
we even deserve it? One way or the other, we're getting it. Coppi goes far to Casanelli. Casanelli to Coppi. Playing in their own end. Pressure mounting from the German outfit. Casanelli goes inside. Votsi takes it high.
Great grab.
Votsi to Rossi. He winds up, puts it away. had Gasparini, but went upfield to Casanelli. He goes deep. It's Barzazzi and Meyer-Bothling. Meyer-Bothling! What a play! My expectation was for Barzazzi to go up and take it. And wow, what a play by Meyer-Bothling. That one got deep and almost cuts off the hand of the intended receiver, Luch. It came in hot and right over the head.
Yeah, Sontag, I think, wants that one back. This is the reason why, you know, you bring some of those offensive players over to play defense on this point. So when you, when you get the turn, you maybe be more effective at punching in all of that time. Just got a little bit huck happy, I think.
Trombetti moves to Casanelli. He wanted to go very quick, but slowed it down just enough. Looks to center and gets Trombetti. Trombetti goes Vozzi. Vozzi gets a dance at Rossi, and he gets very wide. Now the defense recovers, but not enough time. Barzazzi through Kopi and back again. Kopi. Oh, Kopi does well to hold on to that one because the bid came through.
I get that it's Galaxy Point. I get it, but bad. Not least, and not just because the throw didn't go, but he's always taking out Rossi there. Gotta have better control.
Must have better control. Dangerous play there. That one, Trombetti to Barzazzi for goal. To Casanelli. The Italians hold. We're on serve, and they take half on Galaxy Point.
What a half of Ultimate, by the way. Sensational stuff, befitting of the title of Elite Invite. Would not have it any other way.
This is more action than we can handle. We're dishing it out the best we can, but it is just dripping in action. We know we've got some awesome games on the other side too. We're still gonna take this halftime break, and we'll get everybody all caught up when we're back into the second half. So a little bit of bonus action from the two further fields. You see Wall City Ranelagh on the nearer of those two.
Mooncatchers Ranelagh.
Yes, Mooncatchers Ranelagh, Wall City and Fui on the further of those two. Both of those, one on Galaxy Point and the other one into the first point of the second half.
I mean, we had more Galaxy than a box of celebrations, right?
You
Bless you,
better
Hannah.
believe it, Benji.
Clapham take half on Chevron at 8-7. Wall City take half on 3SB 8-7. And we've just seen Mooncatchers take half on Ranelagh 8-7. That's right, Galaxy Point in all four quarterfinals in the Open Division.
And that really,
what a tournament.
That really gives some perspective on the speculation that Pool B was that much stronger. And I mean, we see it now, they've crossed over. They were all meant to be the easy easy quarters for the cross.
There are no easy games at this tournament.
Pool A, they're getting their respect now, if not before, and they are all stepping up to the challenge, at least in the first halves of all of their quarterfinals.
By the way, great pull to begin the second half here from Bologna.
Sontag with the disc, centers. Required a second look to see if anyone else was coming, but Linda hangs on and goes back to Sontag. Callahan country is where they are playing right now, but get a little further away from that.
I mean, they are dicing with death, really struggling to get it out of their end zone.
Sontag. Wind has picked up a little bit, as has the defensive pressure. Luch rather. Goes to Sontag. Inside break, great throw there. Up line, Meyer-Bothling. Contact on the mark, played through, great inside break again. Now shot for goal. That one up and over. Sontag, 2 hands on it. And they tie things up and put 2 snowmen on that board, Benji.
Slightly unorthodox look there, but it works, blading it over the traffic towards the back of the end zone. And again, we think of Sontag more as a thrower than as a scorer, but he's got a nose for the end zone when he needs it. It's a lovely inside break, getting down low. The big man there, Jonathan Meyer-Bothling. And then the blade over the top to the back. Ties us up at 8, honestly. Like, each of these quarterfinals, just flip a coin. Like, just flip a coin and you probably got as good a chance of predicting it as we did. We kind of did a little makeshift bracketology back at our accommodation last night while we were trying to maybe program a schedule for the day. And we may as well not have bothered, right?
Oh, jeez.
Everything we thought we knew was wrong. At least in the open division. We'll see maybe if we got things a little more right in the other divisions, but given the way that Reading put a beat down on Sescadistas this morning and Jinx utterly demolished Bristol, maybe not.
We also have the news of what our stream will be in the mixed quarterfinal, Benji.
We do indeed, and we are going to be streaming, I've forgotten, Deep Space up against Sescadistas, so they've got a chance to redeem themselves straight away. Wool City breaks to take a 9-7 lead on 3SB.
All the action, these games are happening. We will give you as much as we can as it all unfolds, but our priority, of course, this game here, especially when it's as tight as it is. Copy. Stall count mounting as Zani comes screaming under. Shear in tow, and that's just under the attempted footblock of Shear. Now Gasperini gets Laffi. Laffi and Dorossi. He looked to break around early, didn't get it on the first look. Votzi's there to collect on the second look.
I don't know how familiar you are with various combat sports, Steph, but you know the phrase styles make fights?
I don't know if I have heard that expression.
Well, the idea is that it's not just about the teams, it's about the way they play that can make a thing interesting. Like in boxing, for example, a power puncher versus like a technical defender, for example. It's a little bit like this, where you've got Fotta, who are very much going for the slicing and dicing and quick pace, whereas Heidees generally are going with the big bombs, and it makes for a really interesting contest, rather than two sides kind of playing the same way and one of them maybe just doing it slightly better than the other.
I like it very much. I certainly know it in concept, but not in as far as a concise statement goes. Styles make fights. I like it very much, Benji.
Yeah, and again, as we say, styles in the sense of, different approaches, rather than Tom Styles, who I don't think has ever picked a fight with anyone.
No, never, ever.
Although, actually, to be fair, I think he has set up some sock wrestling encounters and a few games of Gibbon. So I guess Tom Styles does make fights every now and again.
Tom Styles makes all sorts of things happen. We miss him around here, but we're happy for all he's done.
Yeah, getting some
lay down the foundations.
Much earned family time in his Frisbee retirement. And to be fair, he's still on call with commentary source a lot of the time. Hannah's reminded us that when his little ones are making the GB Worlds teams, then obviously Tom Styles might be persuaded out of retirement.
Well, fingers crossed for that to happen. Heidees off and running, Linda and Berkner behind the disc.
Yeah, going to be a pick downfield, so it's going to stay with Nistroy for the moment.
Nistro gets a great bid from Sontag, but he gets a ground strip, loses it when he hits, and now Santucci goes to Simonazzi. Simonazzi zips it in, Tognetti puts the foot down, head spike for the break.
Again, as soon as they sense the opportunity, they're off to the races. They do not hang about. Tognetti senses the quick pickup, swinging to Santucci, and bang, a few passes later, Tognetti's popping up in the front of the end zone for the score. You feel like there may be Fotta now beginning to initiate things, pull away a little bit. But of course, Heidees were in this position in the first half and were able to break to take us to that Galaxy point, so they are capable of doing it.
That is another timeout by Fotta. We'll take a break too. Don't you go anywhere.
Interesting to see what will happen off this timeout, whether having maybe gained a little bit of forward progress, this kind of halts things maybe, gives Heidees a chance to recover. Do you want some score updates from the other fields, by the way?
There are some scores out there, and it is that Pool B that is pulling away in most of these games now, where Wall City up to 9-7 now, and Mooncatcher's up 10-7 now in their contest. So the Chevron Clapham one's the only one we don't have a score update on at present, but we will keep you posted the moment we do. So Fotta take the timeout after they get a break. We were just talking in the booth on our short break. That's not a...
You weren't a fan?
Not a fan. They just took the momentum. Sorry, I am being corrected that was a Heidees timeout. And that makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense. Roller pole lands in and rolls out. Sontag's been having a great game despite his last touch being a turnover. It goes to Linda. Gives and goes, and Linda gets it back. He gets the underneath from Klein. Klein squeaks one behind Venturoli. Another big under from Hauk. And Hauk again gets a touch. Oh, big pressure there from Tayo. So the Palmieri comes under, and not with a disc in his hands.
I thought that Palmieri was going to call a foul there on Osri, but decided against it.
He thought about it. Roger goes the other way. Has a receiver, well-weighted throw. It's Saracco who cashes in, and that's now 3 in a row for the Italians after having a couple of snowmen on the board.
Yeah, maybe they're just beginning to assert that little bit of extra dominance, and I think it's come because we talked about this in the first half. we said make Heidees work it underneath a little bit more. Take away that deep game that they thrived upon. They've throttled that a lot better, and it has paid dividends. They forced the turnovers, and this is classic Roger, isn't it? He just sees the space, puts it up there, gives Sarako the chance to go and chase it down, and he chases it down with aplomb.
We just got our update from the All-UK quarter, and Clapham have clawed their way back in front by 1 now, 9-8 in that game. Any of you hoping to watch the All-UK game, please go check out the EUF VEO stream.
VEO, however you pronounce it.
You can go find that on the EUF social media. Go to the Instagram account, check out their post from yesterday, and there are some links and further instructions there.
Yeah, I think you have to download the live VEO app and then search in the all section for EUF, and it should appear. It's the long and short of it.
That's the stuff. Heidees, pull reception.
I like the way you said that. Heidees.
Nice throw. Assessing options, gets Meyer bottling. Chopo trying to stay as glued to him as possible. And Chopo gets a touch, credited with the hand block on that one.
And when you've got that sort of wingspan that he's marking up against, it's a decent achievement, that.
Simonazzi gets off the sideline to Gatti, and he calls the timeout. That's a time to stop and think after getting the disc back for Bologna. A time to top up your drinks and a time to stop and think for us too. Little break here. We'll be back very soon. Open quarterfinals.
Welcome back to the EUF Elite Invite score updates from the other quarterfinals. Mooncatchers 11, Ranelagh 8, Wall City 11, 3SB 9, and Clapham 9. Chevron 9 is the score, so with the exception of that all-UK quarterfinal, which is currently tied apiece, Pool B is currently winning in all of the games.
So, as much as we saw Pool A coming out strong, giving it to them, our pre-tournament predictions and previews were not too far off.
The players have now taken their drinks. The Cats had a saucer of milk, and it looks like we're ready to get back in play.
Well, I can't wait to get back in play after that note, Benji. Gatti will pick this disc up eventually. And I see a shot on the far field going to Orlovsky's. That's another score for Moon over there. Here we are back. Gatti goes under, gets Simonazzi. Comitato to Gatti. Fakes the scuba, but the big arms of Sontag prevent. Simonazzi winds up, then inside to Santucci. He goes big. It could be too far in front. No, it isn't. 61 puts on the Jets. Rossi makes it count on the Chopo assist.
Yeah, you looked a little bit questioningly when it went up. I had all the faith in the world that there was the finesse on that, the touch to just bring it down beautifully into Rosi's arms like a bouquet of roses. 12-8, 4 on the spin now from Fotta. And this game rapidly slipping away from the Germans.
Much more touch on it than I saw initially for sure. Santucci weighted that to perfection. Nothing, no speed change, no extra bid necessary on the receiving end. And with those 4 on the bounce, as Benji mentions, Fotta really putting the pressure on Heidees to make something happen against them. The easy part for Heidees, as we said time and again, is to get a simple hold after a run against, and they'll get that opportunity once again right now, but that has made to be not so simple in the last 3 askings.
I was going to say, I'm not sure anything's easy against this Bologna team. Going for the roller pool out of the sideline, but supposed to land in and then roll out rather than going straight out. And then Sontag's deciding that rather than be trapped on this sideline, it will take the slight loss of vertical yardage to get in a much more favourable position horizontally, and he's going to brick it.
Yeah, a great benefit. The 3 meters, 4 meters of upfield yardage worth much less than being in the center of the field and having more throwing lanes to look at. Immediately dumped to Linde, but he gets those meters right back to Kitchen. Kitchen dumps under with defense draped all over. Now the shot for Grass. Too far in front and no chance on it for the reception.
Yeah, Dipple, I don't hate the look there. If he executes on this throw, I think he can get it, but unfortunately, he just overshoots Linde there, does not give him the chance, and Fotta just looking at pulling away into the distance.
A break here could be the final break. The cone moved there by a player on the sideline. That is not on. Tognetti, put that cone back. You have no place to pick that up.
I do not recall the cone consenting to that.
Talostri gives and goes. And that one zipped to ground. Not where they want it. Sontag back in his hands. A chance to hold after squandering the first opportunity. That one goes not quite in, called not in. Reception counts on the goal line now is Kitchen. Kitchen to Sontag.
Whoa.
Squeezes it away from Simonazzi, who was just about there. Now he goes wide to the other side. It's floating. Blind defense doesn't work, and Stulart cashes in the goal.
Just on a high still, getting creative, because they weren't really creating a lot of set zone, so he thinks, I'm going to do this myself. Floats that blade over towards the far side, where Stulart gets a beat on it to bring it in for the reception, with the defender completely unsighted. Finally, Heidees back on the board, but I think also what you're seeing is that, actually I think it might be Dipple with the goal in the end, is that, again, in the red zone, again, Heidees, I said again quite a lot there, move on. Heidees was struggling, I think, a little bit there. They like having more space to work with, and in that compressed area, the short field that they got with that turf from Crisafulli, they didn't quite find it as easy when they could not have the opportunity just to stretch the field vertically.
So Heidees set to pull. That one out of the hands of Philip Kitchen. We have not had an exceptional pulling game today. Kopi sends it all the way to the brick mark. Casanelli has it in his hands and opens up the offense. Zani, lateral cut to get the under. Goes right back to Casanelli. Barsasi dishes right away, and Casanelli to Pavan. Pavan to Trombetti and just beats the poaching defender. Trombetti, Barsasi. He fakes the wide and then a quick backhand, but not there, and it goes to ground before Trombetti could make a play.
It's the first time we've seen the BFD O-line for a while, so I wonder if they were just, you know, maybe a little bit cold.
Very possible.
Not just the turnover there, as you mentioned, they just about got away with one earlier in the point too.
It's the only downfall of going on a big run with your D-line is shelving your O-line. And there's the goal, just like that. One throw, we practically missed it, but Heidees do put it on the board.
I think it might be it.
I'm not sure if it's a score and a timeout or just a timeout. Bologna's waiting here. That's just a timeout. We didn't miss anything. It's a timeout. My apologies.
Let's take a breather.
Back.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Online. Get your hands on a copy.
That was one handsome man selling a cookbook there for you. You should do what he says.
Was it though? I thought it was you.
Oh, wait.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I love you, Seth.
All right, because I was questioning my good looks there for a second, but I'll restore my confidence. Heidees putting the disc into play, playing from their own end after the timeout, which I was very confused about for a second. Now Kitchen, and Zani gets a hand on it, macked away and out of bounds. La Fotta get another break opportunity.
So the turnout strikes again. Zani coming from behind, but gets in front, and with the left hand gets a huge slap on that one to tip it out of the sideline.
Laffy rips it to Zani on the inside. Pavan comes under with a bit of a curl cut. He goes wide to Barsasi. Those two are playing really well together. Pavan to Barsasi for the break score.
It's just good vision, isn't it? He sees that coming early. A couple of players come to cover that cut to the front. That's the priority, but he just feathers that blade in over the top. Really well executed to take it to 13-9.
This game's stretching away just a bit. The other one's getting a bit of stretch away as well. We can tell you 14-10 Wall City over Fui. We can tell you 11-10 Clapham up on Chevron. That is a tight one. And the last we've heard was 11-7 Mooncatchers staying in front of Ranelagh. Everybody having a look up there to see our drone in the air. They're all so excited that ULTI.TV is bringing the drone footage. Hey, look at that. That's the thing that gives us those awesome shots.
Oh, it's not our drone, apparently.
There's other things in the air?
Why are people looking at nature when they could be looking at Frisbee? I don't understand.
Sontag settles under. We've just been informed from one of the Australians here that he too was a member of Mammoth from Brisbane the year after they won their first ever national championship for Brisbane. And there he is, Sontag has sent it deep, but that one does not connect.
If you're looking for the big story of why Le Fotta have pulled away in the second half, it's because they've got a hold of the Heidees deep game.
They have found a way to stifle it. It is not coming off the way it did in the first half.
A break here would bring the Italians within one of the win.
Simonazzi gets Maffioli. Gatti with the disc. He wound up, and that throw came off of his heel. Simonazzi winds up, has a player deep. That's number 34, Saracco. And he can't hang on.
Yeah, really good work there by Jasper Linder. He got the position there, and not only that, but he got up early as well to properly screen off any attempt, and it's a good job he did, because otherwise, I'm pretty sure Saracco would have had that.
Here are Heidees. Meyer Bothling gets the first touch. And straight through the hands, Klein drops a sitter. Simonazzi. He goes to Comirato. Saracco. Dumped back now. Saracco, and in for goal, Alisi with that goal.
Or not.
Or not, the Italians using the depth of their roster for this line here.
By the way, I love some of the breaks that are coming out of the hands of Gatti there. Really creative.
Back to Saracco. Gatti. He strikes that one, gets the toe down. Maffioli is the receptor, and La Fotta within two.
Within one.
Within one of this game, rather.
It's funny how quickly La Fotta just put the foot down. It felt like a switch flipped, like at halftime maybe, you know, we've had enough of this. We're better than this team. Let's put them away.
Speaking of putting them away, Wall City have done that with Fui.
So 3SB, after topping Pool A, crash out against the bottom seeded side coming out of Pool B, all of which means that for any Padova fans watching at home, unfortunately, the bid that they could have earned to EUCF by 3SB making the final here has fallen by the wayside. Mooncatcher's Ranelagh is still ongoing, as is Clapham versus Chevy. And last time I heard it was 13-9 to Mooncatchers and 14-10 to Clapham, who have done the typical Clapham thing of a close first half and then accelerated at the end.
There's the pull from Tal Ostri. That one into another atmosphere. Stratosphere potentially. Sontag to Luch. That one shot deep. It worked for them at the start of the game. They'll try it again deep. Everybody has a touch, then Kitchen hangs on to it, finds Myers-Bothling, and they get to put one more on at least before this game has potential to end.
And that was how they got it done in the first half majority. It was the deep shot. This time, 2 players make the cut, so there's 2 defenders there as well. A little bit of hot potato before Kitchen brings it down. And then looks up, says, I back Myers-Bothling in the end zone here. And the backhand gets the big man free for the score. Here's the replay of the catch. Tipped by maybe both of the Fotta defenders. 1, 2, yes, no. Thank you very much. A big plant. He flips those hips. And a wide open backhand to Myers-Bothling. Scarcely have an easier goal this weekend. Well, at least on that final catch. The big hook to set it up. Certainly a bit more of a dicier proposition. I think Mooncatchers have just polished off Ranelagh, it looks like. So that's 3 semi-finals decided now. And they've all come in the end with relatively handy wins from Pool B. Clapham Chevron is the only one still ongoing at this point.
Well, and this one in front of us, of course.
With this one as well. Only other quarterfinal, I meant to say.
So 14-10, this will be Fotta's first disc in hand opportunity to close out the game. Game point now in front of us for BFD Fotta. We'll get a look at our semifinals as they come, and as Laffy takes the long walk in, we can tell you we know Wall City and Mooncatchers. That is confirmed on the other side. Clapham and Fotta look like the eventual semi, but those games still need to be closed out. Laffy to Gasperini. Gasperini goes to Pavan. Pavan sent it deep. Rossi is under it. He's up early, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Fotta will be in the final. They most likely await Clapham in that semifinal. And that game we've seen time and time again, and it never disappoints. So looking very much forward to that one. Benji, the German side here, came out, looked good in the first half, and couldn't seem to hold it together into the second.
Maybe just that little bit of extra experience at this level. You know, the fact that Fotta were able to make those in-game adjustments, and the Germans kind of didn't have the counterplays to swing things back in their favor.
Up next, into the women's division, quarterfinal action. Yaka reappearing on stream versus Box from Vienna, Austria. That game, a quarterfinal as well, set to be a cracker. So take a little break, go refill your glasses, fluff your pillows, do whatever you need to do to stay comfortable, and get back to the stream. We are going to keep rolling here with the very end, very far footage there, but you'll be able to see the end of this game from Clapham Chevron. Our commentary might be a little bit difficult from this distance, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, it's Clapham in black and Chevron in white.
And of course, Clapham, if they can, well, whoever wins this will play Fotta.
And Clapham and Fotta met in the pool stage yesterday, and Clapham took out a nervy 12-11 victory. And they'll tell you what, they'll be looking to repeat that today as well, because it will be Clapham Fotta in the second semi-final.
What a start of the day we've had. First set of quarterfinals concluded in the open division. Women's coming up right after that mixed. Don't go anywhere. I've been Stefan Rabazza with Benji Reese on ULTI.TV. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.